I am 36 years old. I'm 36 years old and I've been playing Pokemon since I was 10. Probably some of you looking at me will think this guy's a liar. And no, assholes, I'm not, and I will prove it to you. Yep, that's my Pokemon tattoo that I did with a friend. He did the same, but he has Charmander, and I supposedly needed to have a Bulbasaur, but it didn't really fit well, so I choose to have the Pokeball. Not only I played all the games till X, Y, but Pokemon is a franchise that remains with me since forever. Like the emotion that that franchise gave to me, it's something that I never experienced with anything else, and I'm just sad to see how the franchise, how one of my favorite franchises kill himself, basically. So as I said, I've played Pokemon till XY, and even if I don't considering those two games masterpiece, I think they were the last true Pokemon games. I never played Sun and Moon. I tried the demo and I wasn't really convinced about it, and I think that it's from that game on that the franchise started its decline. And getting to this point nowadays with the release of ZA, I really can't recognize the brand anymore. I was shocked, and I was shocked because not only I couldn't understand how they can release something like this in that state, but I couldn't understand how the developers don't feel ashamed to release such thing. As an OG player, I always tried to find a reason to buy a new Nintendo console, and that reason was always Pokemon. I didn't really care about any other games. Yeah, they're welcome, Zelda, I love it, but Pokemon was the reason why I was buying a Nintendo console. And since the 3DS, it never crossed my mind to buy another Nintendo console. First thing that I noticed, but this is something that is going on for a while, is why they changed the characters. And when I'm saying the characters, the design of the characters. There's something that Pokemon was really beautiful for, and it was unique characters, like Dragon Ball. You get Dragon Ball, you know that behind Dragon Ball there's Akira Toriyama, okay? Why Pokemon went from this to this? It doesn't have any sense. There's a lot of things they should change, definitely, but not the original design. This was the best design, this was original, this screams Pokemon. This here, no, this is so generic and cheap looking, it's horrible. And another thing's the Pokemon. I will not say that there is no good looking Pokemon, but there is some that are just horrible and doesn't even look like Pokemon. Like when the first time I see this, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Now we have the motorcycle Pokemon? Seriously? I don't want to even know the story behind this thing. I don't want to know why it has wheels. It's just horrible looking and it doesn't look like a Pokemon. It's a totally different design. Watching some gameplay of ZNA, they showed this Pokemon that looks like it was wearing diapers. This is the level we got? Dude, you have how much? 1000 Pokemon at this point? I don't think the Pokemon is the real problem at this point. It's the design, the story, the graphic. Work on these things. The dialogues are horrible. Don't try to put always new Pokemon. I want to focus for a second on the story. Can Nintendo please understand that not only 10 years old kids play with Pokemon? Seriously guys, do you think that your audience is made by 10 years old kids? Because I don't think that 10 years old kids or a teenager has like $70 to buy the base game without considering the DLC and the pass to play online that we will talk later. I think that or there's parents behind, but not every parents will spend so much money on this shit, or there's fans that actually work that are a little bit older and they love the brand, and maybe those people are a huge part of the people that buy your game. Can we acknowledge that? And it will be pretty simple to make happy everybody. You leave Game Freak doing the games for the kids, and maybe you let Monolith Soft, the software house that did the amazing Xenoblade games, do a mature Pokemon. Can you imagine if Monolith Soft is allowed to create a Pokemon game? What kind of story they can bring out, what kind of environment, what kind of dialogues we will have. And look, I'm still fine. You wanna keep it for kids? Fine. But at least put a slider for the difficulties. Because the first games, the original one, when I played it at 10 years old, those games were hard. And that was the beauty of the game. Now I see some clips and literally you can't move 3 seconds in the game that they tells you what to do. Do you know if you throw a Pokeball here, this happens? Dudes, you release 20 plus games. I think that at this point everybody knows how the fucking Pokeball works. It's time maybe to evolve those dialogues and stuff, okay? Another point that I would like to focus is the graphic. Nintendo, fix the fucking graphic. I'm actually replaying X and Y these days, and it's crazy how that game is polished, is detailed. I mean, let's not talk about the frame rate that sometimes sucks, especially during the fights, okay, but the environment. I just went back in a cave and the camera came behind my back and the 3D was on, and on the walls, in the cave there was this like, I don't know, rocks that were making some lights, and it was so beautiful. Or I went to this river and there was grass on the side and you could see the wind moving the grass. I'm like, fuck, how we went from this to ZA? How? Or the fact that you have so many different Pokeballs with different colors, with different design, with different names, and when you throw each other on a Pokemon, there's this little animation of the Pokeball moving, you know, before you catch one. And I've seen in ZA they even remove the fucking animation. Instead of adding things, we are removing things. And again, I'm a guy that really don't care about the graphics. I'm not playing the last game that is coming out. I always replay a lot of old games. Now I even got a Wii U, so I'm playing Wii U stuff, you know. I don't care about the graphics. I care about the art direction. And when I see Arceus, or I see ZA, or I see Shield and Sword, and they're so empty and so ugly to look at that I can't, you know. I'm looking at those tree with those leaves that are literally papers, you know, like, and I'm sure that they are using the same fucking engine that they use for the 3DS. It's the same. They update some stuff, but it's the fucking same. Dude, it's just sad. We are talking of a company that makes literally billions out of this franchise, and they're acting like a scammy indie software house that is asking money through GoFundMe. Because this is what you expect, maybe, you know, from a GoFundMe, but not for a fucking Game Freak and Nintendo. It's like they're literally pretending that they are not making enough money to make something better. The thing is that I don't see the passion anymore. You could breathe the passion when the first games were released. You can breathe the passion in Heart Gold and Silver when you were finishing the first region. And then as a kid without internet, you didn't know there was the complete old region. It was wild. Something like that today will have sold probably with a DLC, you know, that's a problem. But now you can see it's done just fast as they can just to release those games and take your money. I mean, ZNA, if you take X and Y, it's the same city, okay? In X and Y you can enter in more places than in ZA. In ZA you can't enter anywhere. It's fucking disgusting. If they can't make a game in 2 years, 2-3 maximum years like they did before, take a little bit more of time. You're not poor, you're not starving, you're a billionaire company. I understand that before you could release one game every 2, maximum 3 years because it was easier to develop, you were developing in 2D, but now, fucking hell, take 1 year more, 2 years more, polish the game and then release it. And this thing that pisses me off so much, that you're selling that crap for $70. How the fuck you're not ashamed? And not only, before the release of the game, you already announced a DLC that you could have included with no problem in the game for $30 plus 20 to play online to finish the game 100%. So we are talking about $120 for ZA. I don't know how people working there don't feel embarrassed. It's pathetic. Now I know that there's leaks about the new game, Waves and Winds. They changed the engine, but I don't really have any hope. I will be really surprised if they actually are able to release something decent. But I guess we will see soon, right? I mean, it's already scheduled to be released in 2026, so yeah, we will see.